Oi,
Oi,
oi.
oi. I love it.
Episode 20, my new favorite saying. Apart from simp, oi, oi is my other favorite saying.
Simp. And I know you're a simp. I know you are deep down. You're just
I'm
in the
not a
closet
simp.
about it. Just never in front of the boys.
Zero simp
But
activity.
while with the missus, it's hella simp activity. I know what it is.
I'm
I know how you
innocent,
operate.
innocent till proven guilty.
Smooth operator. Smooth operator.
Oi, oi, ladies and gentlemen, we got some news. We got a couple of things. All right. I had to jump into my trade machine. We got some hypotheticals for you today. Episode
Mm.
28 of the Locked Up podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Essam. And hang on a sec, baby. I am Ali. And ladies and gentlemen, we are the Locked Up podcast. So, my man could either go that way or that way.
My guy
Yep.
Brody.
There's a lot of there's a lot of things surrounding him, which is weird
Mm.
because it's kind of like there's been no hint or anything that signals that he wants out of Houston. So, but I'm all for it. I'm all for these rumors, and I'm all for addressing whether they benefit him or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we'll start with the first one. So the New York Knicks are interested in Brody and want to prepare a trade for him. Russell Westbrook to the New York Knicks. How you feel? Do you think it's possible? And yeah, what do you think about it?
To sum it up in one word, trash. I don't want none of that. I don't want to see Brody at the Knicks. That's like, guess I'm not seeing you this season. Hope you're well. No, I don't want to see that, bro. Like, I think it's a bad fit. I think Westbrook isn't that same, like, this MVP Westbrook. He can't carry a team on his back and win 40-plus games and, force the playoffs and then first-round exit lad. I don't think he can do all that. I think he, needs a better supporting cast around him, you know what I mean? At least in OKC, he had Paul George, at the moment he has James Harden. He can't complain about the teammates right now.
No.
And that's more fitting for what he can do because he is older, he's less explosive. And to be honest, Russ's biggest issue, and it's always been his biggest issue, is shooting. Ever since MVP season, it's just gotten worse. And ever since he hurt his wrist and injured his wrist, he's not come back, the same. So, yeah, and I think because of his shooting, because, MVP Russ used to have automatic twos. Like, he could drive and get a bucket anytime he wanted. And his mid-range was reliable, and he would hit the occasional three. And on top, on MVP season, he hit clutch threes. He don't
Very
do that no
clutch.
more. He don't do that no more.
No.
So that's just the reality. Like, I hate to say it. Like, I really like Russ. Yeah, I've even got the jersey, but he's not that guy. He can't do that anymore. So if the Knicks want him, they want that auto mid-range, auto twos, and clutch threes, but I don't think that's the reality. So
they're living in 2017.
So I think that's a bad in terms of the money for the Knicks and bad in terms of my man Russ. I don't want to see him there because that means I ain't gonna see him.
No, it's good for the Knicks, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and just save you, me, the viewers a lot of time and just say that whenever if we ever come on here for whatever episode and we're addressing some rumor that the Knicks, the New York Knicks, are interested in some player, and I'm gonna get asked for my opinion, I'm always 9.9 times out of 10 say hell no. Terrible, bro. Horrible. I've been wanting the New York Knicks to be so good for so long. Imagine that, the most popular city in the world, Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? Everything's popping off, but it is the biggest joke of an organization I've ever seen in my life. This isn't the players of the Knicks. They've had some dope players, but bruv, this organization is garbage. It's not only the worst in NBA, it's the worst organization in all of sports. If I'm a player, I don't want to go to the Knicks, bro. Brody is paid. You've got your money, dog. Go get a chip. So, no, nothing to do with the Knicks. Absolutely not. It's good for the Knicks because they get a draw. They get a guy who gives 100. He's got that beast mentality and his intensity. It's entertaining to watch, and he talks his trash and all that. But For him, what's in it for Brody? I put up a trade offer, and it's like it's better for Houston because the Houston will get like Alfred Payton and Julius Randle. They get a playmaking, role-playing point guard and a big man. Whereas,
Mhm.
and they can just absorb the rest of Brody's contract because they got so much cap space because they flopped yet again in the offseason last year. I'm tired of the
Damn.
New York Knicks, bro. Either wipe them out from the NBA, just go play in a different league, or sort yourselves out. It's that person that never gets his life
That
together.
bad.
Bruh, get it together. You're a mess. Sort your life out.
Straight up, Knicks in the G League, would they win?
No. No. There's hungry.
Damn.
No, they'll just flop it somehow. The Knicks are not is not a winning organization, right?
Yeah.
Everything
It sucks
surrounding
to
them.
say because we want New York and LA to be popping. LA,
Yeah.
has risen. They took a 6-year L, but the Knicks have taken like a 40-year L. So, you
Yeah,
know,
they haven't had a and somehow they're just not drafting high. They haven't had a what did our boys say? They haven't had
yeah,
a number one pick since Ewing. Since Ewing.
yeah,
They've been
yeah.
trash since well no, they
Knicks
had the
Knicks
year with
have been getting cooked in the draft, so that's out
they
of their control. And when they
they
do
had like
pick, they pick badly, except for Porzingis. But where he at now? So
lost him.
once again, they choked that one. So
They just cook themselves. They get cooked.
mhm.
I'm done with New York until and I've tried. I've tried so hard, but I don't want Brody anywhere near there. The dude's already paid. People go to New York to get paid. He's already paid.
Mhm.
So
Paid
so
in
go get a
full.
ring.
Hashtag paid
Yeah,
in
he's
full.
hashtag paid in full, right? So there's no point of him going there. No, at all.
No, I ain't with that whatsoever.
For him, not for them. It's good for the Knicks. They're not gonna win
I
anything.
think it's bad. I think it's bad either way. The only thing you said that I agree with is yes, he will bring up ticket sales. That's if
That's it.
fans are even going to
That's
be
what
in
I
the
mean.
stands. Outside
No,
of
I
that,
know.
though, it's not a dub for the Knicks. They ain't going to win that much
Yeah,
more
but
games. Straight up.
bro, at this rate, that is considered a winning season for the Knicks. Even their fan base is done. Cross the bridge, guys. Go to Brooklyn. Just
Yeah, I'm
go.
not.
Just
I've phased into Brooklyn, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Just go down the road, lads. Go down the road. You got a sick team down in Brooklyn, right? Because this team is not cutting it. I'm done with this. I want to move to the other one. Brody is also drawn interest from the Los Angeles Clippers. They don't have the
Mm.
cap space that the Knicks have, so they will have to put some pieces together. I have put a trade scenario together that I think is good. So I'll get your opinion first on Brody to the Clippers.
Just real quick, is Paul George included in your trade?
I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after what you think. What do you think of just Brody to the Clippers?
I think it's good actually. I think it's almost like having Beverly but on roids, like double roids. You know what I mean? A good
Yeah.
cocktail of steroids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, Russ, that energy, that fire, that pump up, that alpha mentality, leader, and Russ is a very criminally underrated, passer and assister. He'll get his 10 assists. Assuming he's still playing with Paul George, he'll know how to pass to him. He made Paul George look like an MVP candidate a year ago. You know what I mean?
He did.
That's facts.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
Westbrook will know that, oh, damn, I'm playing with Leonard, so he'll know to fold back like with
Oh,
Harden.
damn.
No, I mean, like Russ did not play super selfish with Harden on the team. Do you know what I mean? He didn't do that bad. He didn't hog the ball and do stuff like that. He did take some bad shots and stuff like that, but that's what Russ always does. So he'll know to defer to Leonard as well, and I think he'll be able to feed Leonard very well. I think Russ driving, penetrating, and kicking out to either PG or Leonard would be pretty lethal. I think if PG has to be traded to get Russ, it won't be as effective. I think the fact that Russ and PG have chemistry, I think might be a very good factor to trying to speed up their chemistry woes. Chemistry
Well,
woes.
well, he has to be traded. He has to be traded. So
Mm.
it's the one that I've thought up that I would do is PG and Lou Will for Russ, and that's
Oh,
scary. That's so scary in Clippers, bro. I think that's so cool for the Clippers because that's the thing, right? Is Russ is a 6'3" Giannis. Just put your head down and drive. Maybe not so much anymore. He's getting a bit older. But instead of putting all the pressure on him to shoot, still kind of do that because you got to shoot, bro. You're a point guard. But like release some of that pressure and get some shooters, right? Marcus Morris is a great shooter. Shamet is a sniper. Leonard is an amazing shooter. And Leonard is not a leader. You need that big voice, which is Russ. And PG has proven time and time again to jump on a milk carton every single postseason without fail. Russ as well, but Russ has had some ball out clutch performances.
He goes out swinging. He goes out swinging. That's the difference. PG just disappears and stays gone. Westbrook at least drops 40 but loses, tried. I gave effort, I didn't just give up,
Russ to the Clippers
I don't
is
like
the best shot at a ring.
That's not good. That's losing even more shooting. They need that.
Yep, but I would still do it. I think that is his best shot at getting a ring. I would rather Russ than Paul George.
What's cool is they're both Kelly dudes, Leonard and Russ, so that's kind of cool. Maybe they can relate with that.
Well, so is Paul George, who's been a Clipper fan his whole life, remember?
Miss me with that, man. Miss me with that.
Get out of here, bro. Been a Clipper fan my whole life. And then you also said you want to go put that
with T Wade talking about Lakers though, and he wore 24 on his jersey because of what player? Oh, I think the one behind you.
Yep, the one behind me. The one behind me. Well, there's actually been some breaking news, so I'm going to go ahead and make this a curveball. I'm going to make this a curveball question of the day. Phoenix is interested in Chris Paul. You'd have to trade for him. And how would you – I'm trying to think of all the players on that team. They don't really have any expensive players apart from Booker. So, and the only way
– You ain't losing Booker, man.
You will lose – you can lose Booker because what we talked about in the previous episode where you would lose him for something like a number one pick in Minnesota. So unless they put together like a 3-team trade, I don't know how it can happen. And even if they can put that together, why do these tanking teams like the Knicks and the Suns, why do they want an old, really expensive point guard? Chris Paul and Russ, why do they want that?
I'll break it down because the Brooklyn Nets, they got Timothy Mozgov's contract, and then they flipped it for something. Can't remember what right now, but they did something with it. And they ended up drafting well due to whatever they flipped it for, and then it became a more attractive location. So that's what they're doing is they're just using their cap to attain good assets by flipping contracts. That's what they're trying to do. That's how Brooklyn got. Because remember how the Celtics fleeced them and they had like no picks for a very long time, but now they have swings like and stuff like that. So.
They got the KG Paul Pierce trade, that's right. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. If you can keep Booker, absolutely, absolutely. Jesus,
taking the stress of Booker to ball handle and and assist all the time. If he just has to score, all he has to do is get your bucket. Ooh, and imagine Chris Paul giving it to him like a dimer. Very open.
Yeah, that's that. That's that. Make it.
Even Ayton will benefit from it. Easy lobs, easy buckets in the post.
Oh, Chris Paul made Ayton an all-star.
Because they have Rubio, right?
Yeah, they probably have to get rid of him if they trade for Paul.
So I don't know. I'm just assuming the team is as it is somehow, some way. I'm not too sure who gets traded. Let's say if Rubio's still there, he could be a very solid off the bench. And because I think very solid off the bench. Because I think Rubio's weakness is that he's not a crazy shooter; he's just a distributor. But Chris Paul, he is number one in fourth quarter scoring in the league last year. He's clutch me daddy, so
he's madness.
Love to see it. I think him and Booker would be nasty.
I mean, if they can find a way to pull that off, yeah, absolutely. But I don't know if they can because your most expensive player is the player that you want to keep for Chris Paul. So
Do you think the 8 and
I don't
0 in
know.
the bubble was just a pump fake, and they're just gonna
No,
resort to? Oh, okay, okay.
no, I don't think
So
so.
you
I
really
think
think
this
it's
is
a turning of the league momentum? They're gonna become a
well.
better team a little bit.
Well, they'll probably make the playoffs. Like they could probably make the playoffs. They have a chance to next season with if they bring that same energy. I think I think it's a tough question because they just thought to themselves, we've got 8 games, let's just max out and do what we can. Somehow went 8-0. The Phoenix Suns went 8-0 in the bubble.
Game winner over Paul George as well in between.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
That's
Over the Clipper fan, over the diehard Clipper fan. But yeah, but to sum it up, yeah, I would 100% love to see CP and Booker. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to see
We'll
it too.
see. We'll see. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we wrapping it up here. Real short and sweet for everyone. It is the Locked Up Podcast. Thank you for all the support. We've been seeing the views go up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, get us to that recommended page, follow the socials. Timestamps are in the description. We didn't talk about too many different topics today, but hey, man, if you want to jump to certain things, go for it. Much love, and see you guys in episode 29. Peace.